Alright guys, it's not a secret for all of us that we could use AI for us to be able to prepare for anything. So let's imagine that we need to prepare for Salesforce Revenue Cloud Certificate and we would like to find, in our case, AI Gemini, the most recent, exam questions for us, right? And prepare answers to be able to practice. So let's try and take a look what it will find for us. So at this moment, as you could see, I am using Deep Research. It's available in the free version in Gemini 2.5 Flash even. So in that case, what it's trying to do, it's showing me what it wants to do. So I'm just clicking let's start research. And then what it will do, it will try to find out everything what is related to Salesforce Revenue Cloud certifications preparation. So let's take a look, what results will be. Let's give it some time. Right, we could see that it's actually analyzed tons of different resources, forums, different quizzes, and so on and so forth, right? So a lot of information, even inside medium.com, Trailhead, we could see Salesforce band, so different resources. So then it's trying to establish official exam structure, okay, preparing everything together, so it might take some time, because as you could see here is a lot of different kind of things it's checking. Alright, after 2 or 3 minutes, it's actually finished to do all this kind of stuff. So it tried to prepare me what are the basic topics that actually this certification trying to actually cover, how it's calculate points, what is the domain focus, what it's include in each scenario, what kind of questions we have. So it's prepared some examples. So what is a list price, regular price, customer price, it's actually did a deep research, right? Find out me all information related to it, right? And it's finally showed all of it to me. So I could actually read through it, right? If it's required for me in order to understand, what is a practice examination, right? What is the patterns that it's actually follow? What kind of questions are most commonly showing up? And so on and so forth. Also, I might find scenario-based items, right? So here you could see how many resources it actually was able to review. And now what I could do, right, I could read all of this kind of stuff, right, to be able to prepare myself, or I could do the following. I could click on the create, and here, different kind of stuff that I could create with the help of AI. So here I could create a website, I could create a quiz, I could create, different kind of stuff, right? But let us create a new app that will train me for certification with tons of questions from that certification, and let it be in with explanation after selecting answers. Okay, so now we just put in the prompt that what we would like Gemini to do, it actually generate for us an application, our own custom one, which is actually will give us a tons of different questions, right, which we could use in order to be able to prepare ourselves for exam. So what it's actually doing, it is generating an application. As you could see, basic HTML is generated. Now we have CSS section, right? Then we have, basic script section. Now we generate a body, and it contains information about the form, basic metrics. And I would believe that all the data will be in form of JSON. So let me just show you. Yeah, so all information is actually represented here in the form of JSON, right? So it contains the actual questions here, right? So we could find out, what is the right answer, what is the explanation. So everything is actually provided here in the form of JSON, but there is maybe not a lot of questions for right now, right? So we could see that here, for example, some scenario. we could select the right answer. For example, we could submit and then it's provide for us explanation. So let's actually emulate any kind of application which is available at this moment in the internet, which is allowing us to prepare ourselves for certification, right? And like sometimes they're for free, sometimes they're not. But if we could see that we have, for example, like only 9 questions, right, and we would like to have more, then we could just ask, like our helper to actually generate for us more. Right, I've asked this application to actually generate 150 questions for this application. So now what it will do, it will actually update the code of this into a new, let's say, updated application. All right, guys. So our Gemini is actually did an interesting upgrade, right, for our application. So now our application is actually ready. We have, for example, one of 40 questions, right? But what else? At this moment, we have a button which is actually calling Gemini API, right? And it generate more and more questions. So when we finished with our, next part, so in that case, we could ask actually application to generate 20 new questions. And in that case, it's actually calling API, API return additional questions. We are putting it into the end of the JSON, right? And after that, we have tons of additional questions I actually, prepared and added into the general list. So by that manner, we could train ourselves, we could build an application which is allow us, to prepare for any kind of certifications, right? And plus what we have at the end, we have, let's say, correct answer, right? We could ask, our AI to be able, to actually validate our questions, right? Make sure that they're all up to date, that, for example, they're based on the recent, I don't know, like exams and so on and so forth. But in general, right, we could find out from here that now we have a new way for us to actually to prepare for certification. And now what we could do else, right? We could actually share our applications with other guys who is actually also doing their preparation. So for example, here is a link to this application. So this application will be immediately available. So we are clicking copy the link, right? And now we could try to open that application in a new tab. So here I've just opened another free Google page, right? I'm just pasting my URL in the browser for me to see how this application will actually look like. And here you could see that it's actually real and working application, which is I could share with other guys. And we, as the same manner, we could prepare different applications, to be able to prepare for any certifications on top of Salesforce, right? Like, for example, you could see that if you select some answer and that answer is not correct, right? It's letting us know what is, explanation, what we need to select, and we could go next. It gives us, it's actually trying for us to emulate our own certification for this specific, in our case, Revenue Cloud. So I hope that that information is actually useful for you guys. If you will try to use the same manner, please post me links to your application in the comments. It will be interesting to see what you actually built. So thank you guys and have a good day.